Namaskar, India Meteorological Department welcomes you in weekly weather discussion. In the weekly weather discussion, first of all, we will look into the synoptic, weekly weather observed during past 1 week, and then we will look into weekly weather for the weather forecast during upcoming 2 weeks. If we look, first of all, we will look into the weekly weather observed during past 1 week. So, if we look into the synoptic systems of the past 1 week, then a cyclonic circulation lay over South Andaman Sea during the beginning of the week, 8th to 14th of April, and this cyclonic circulation moved westwards and lay over Southeast Arabian Sea and adjoining Lakshadweep area today, and also a wind discontinuity from Maharashtra, eastern parts of Maharashtra to South India, Karnataka or Kerala continued during the most days of the week, and a western disturbance also lay as a trough uh, roughly along 50 degree of longitude and moved eastwards, and today it is running roughly along 60 70 degree of longitude to the north of 28 degree of latitude. So under the influence of these systems, heavy to very heavy rainfall was observed over Assam and Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura, Tamil Nadu and Kerala and Mahe on one day uh, of the week. And heavy rainfall was observed over Kerala, southern parts of Kerala, and adjoining parts of Ghat areas of Tamil Nadu, Assam and Meghalaya, Sub-Himalayan, West Bengal and Sikkim, and over Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura, and also Odisha from 1 to 2 or 3 days. As we can see here in this picture, these red dots are showing heavy rain and heavy to very heavy rain. Uh, heat wave conditions were observed during the past 1 week in the beginning of the this week, past week, and the heat wave conditions prevailed at most places of Rajasthan, over Haryana, over Delhi, over southwest UP, over Punjab, West MP, and also over Gujarat during the beginning of the week, and also over western Himalayan region, heat wave conditions, heat wave to severe heat wave also prevailed in some parts of Himachal Pradesh and in most parts of Jammu division as well. And these heat wave conditions were remained in the form of severe heat wave conditions, and the departures over these areas were from ranged from 6 to 8 9 degrees centigrade. But this western disturbance, which is today running roughly along 70 degree of longitude, this western disturbance started moving eastwards towards the country, then these temperatures start falling, and from 12th of April, the heat wave conditions abated from the area of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, and also from West MP. Only isolated heat wave conditions were there. Although the heat wave conditions over parts of East MP and over Jharkhand continued during this period. So now currently the heat wave conditions have abated from all these areas, although isolated heat wave conditions are being observed over Ganganagar region of northwest Rajasthan, and also in isolated pockets over Himachal Pradesh and Jammu division as well. And during this week, 45.5 degrees centigrade highest maximum temperature was observed over Alwar on 8th of April. If you look into weekly and seasonal cumulative rainfall distribution, then we can see here that since during the week there was no active western disturbance. In fact, during entire month of March and during this first fortnight of April, there was no active western disturbance. So due to this, if we look into seasonal rainfall distribution, then over northwest India it was minus 91% from the departure from the normal. And in the week from 7th to 13th of April, there was minus negative departure of 93% over northwest India. And these two deficit rainfall departures over northwest India led to country as a whole departure of minus 9% weekly and minus 43% seasonal departure. Now we come over to the forecast part, and as far as low pressure area forecast is concerned, so currently the cyclonic circulation which is lying over Southeast Arabian Sea and Lakshadweep area, it is likely to continue to move westwards without any further intensification. And during the beginning of the week too, there is a likelihood of formation of a cyclonic circulation over South Andaman Sea, and this circulation is also unlikely to intensify into a low pressure area or into a depression as per the latest numerical weather prediction model guidance. Now we come over to the forecast, rainfall forecast for week 1. So as we can see here that during the week 1, there is the heavy to very heavy rainfall in isolated places would continue over Arunachal Pradesh and Assam and Meghalaya during next 36 hours. And then from 16th April onwards, on 16th and 17th, there is a isolated heavy rainfall probability is there, and it would continue over Arunachal and Assam and Meghalaya. And on 17th of April, there is a probability of isolated heavy rainfall on Nagaland and Manipur as well. And in southern and also Sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim, the rainfall would light to moderate rainfall from scattered to fairly widespread places over Sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim and northeast India. Fairly widespread to widespread light to moderate rainfall would continue during next 5 days. Now, if you come over to southern peninsular India, then the isolated heavy rainfall probability over Kerala would continue during next 4 days, and over Tamil Nadu, there is a probability of isolated heavy rainfall over the Ghat areas of Tamil Nadu, but later on from tomorrow onwards, there is no probability of isolated heavy rainfall over Tamil Nadu. But the thunderstorm activity over the peninsular India and along the east coast, Odisha, Jharkhand, and Bihar would continue in some days during next 1 week. And also there is probability of a western disturbance which is likely to affect western Himalayan region from 18th of April, and it would this western disturbance would cause isolated to scattered rainfall over western Himalayan region, that is Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Gilgit, Baltistan, Muzaffarabad, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand during 18th of April to 21st of April. Now, if you come over to the rainfall forecast for week 2, then the rainfall in the week 2 is likely to be above normal to above normal over southeast peninsular India, but it is likely to remain below normal over northeast India and northwest India, and it is likely to remain uh, uh, near normal over rest parts of the country. But this wind discontinuity over south peninsular India would continue, and under its influence, uh, isolated to scattered rainfall with the isolated heavy falls over southern parts of Kerala may continue during most days of the week. And also the activity, thunderstorm activity with the scattered to fairly widespread rainfall would continue over northeast India, Assam and Meghalaya, and Arunachal Pradesh, and parts of Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura as well. Now, if you come over to maximum temperature forecast, then as we can see that the heat wave conditions have abated from the plains of northwest India and adjoining parts of Madhya Pradesh from 12th of April. So only isolated heat wave conditions in certain pockets, only isolated pockets are likely during next 2 days, 15th and 16th of April. Uh, Now, as this western disturbance moves eastwards, moves away eastwards, then the temperatures may temperatures which are likely to rise by 2 to 3 degrees centigrade during next 3 days. Then the heat wave area distribution and intensity of the heat wave over northwest India and Madhya Pradesh may increase from 17th of April, and also severe heat wave conditions may be observed over Rajasthan, over southern parts of Haryana and southern parts of Punjab on 17th and 18th of April. Although isolated over UP and over MP, only isolated heat wave conditions would continue over on 17th and 18th of April. Then, as we have just seen that another western disturbance is likely to affect western Himalayan region from 18th of April. So again, the maximum temperatures would fall, and the heat wave conditions are likely to abate again from the plains of northwest India. So now, if we come over to maximum temperature forecast for week 2, that is from 21st to 27th of April, then the maximum temperatures are very likely to be above normal by 2 to 4 degrees centigrade over Western Himalayan region, and by 1 to 3 degrees centigrade over Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, parts of Gujarat, and Maharashtra coast. So, due to these above normal temperatures, there is a likelihood of heat wave conditions in isolated pockets over central parts of Uttar Pradesh, over Western Himalayan region, that is Himachal Pradesh and Jammu division, and over Odisha, Bihar, and Jharkhand, and parts of Gujarat as well. So that's all for the weekly weather discussion of today. Next week we will again meet for weekly weather discussion for the forecast during upcoming 2 weeks. Thank you and goodbye.